Hello everybody, Brad Johnson here, and I'm going to be doing another video with Adronis, and Adronis is going to be talking about the living knowledge. We are here at this time, and we bid you greetings, and thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction today. I'm Adronis of Sirius. We send love, appreciation, and gratitude to all who are tuning in to this broadcast through your internet collective consciousness. We will speak on the idea of what you term as the living knowledge. Many of you who have, again, followed a spiritual movement, a deeper inner understanding of yourselves, shall come upon books, shall come upon your videos, and shall come upon materials overall. And that, therefore, your idea in regards to how you understand the nature of your spirituality, of your consciousness, has always come through the aspect of the ledger, has come through the aspect of literature, or therefore hearsay. But when you look at the nature of knowledge, it is a boundless, ever-changing entity. And we mean this very literally. Your knowledge is an entity. It lives. It exists. It breathes. It grows. It evolves. It expands. Therefore, when you are taking in knowledge, do not feel that what you have received shall be the end-all, be-all relating to such a topic, a subject, a matter. It is the aspect of the knowledge being alive that therefore evolves as you do. So when you are looking at books, when you are listening to someone, when you are watching a video, when you are utilizing material, many of you again will see this as a doctrine. You will see this in that sense as a gospel. And that is how it must be. For we must have rules. We must have laws. We must have principles that have been written down, that have been scribed for your people. And this must be the way it must be. And again, this becomes a distortion. This is why knowledge is not even really quite understood on your planet. Again, it is the aspect of the gospel and the hearsay. It is the idea that as you read something within a book, this must be the way. But when you look back into your ancient masters, they themselves also state the way cannot be described. The way cannot be written down on paper. The way cannot be discoursed through the voice. The way can only be understood, realized by you as you continue to develop, evolve, and expand yourselves with the living entity known as knowledge. Knowledge is an entity. It is alive. This is why there are those who have termed it as the living library. And that too is true. For it is also an entity. When you look at the aspect to know, the aspect to know is not the aspect of what you term as the finality. It is the understanding that you are growing. It's the idea that when you plant a seed within the ground, and you bury it with dirt, and you start to water it over time, that it will therefore start to sprout. And that sprouting is not the be-all, end-all and saying, well, that must be all there is to the seed. No, it will continue to sprout. It will continue to grow. It will continue to expand and evolve, to become greater and greater and greater, until its time has come, where it shall fade, where it shall diminish, and other seeds around it will grow, evolve, always different from that one seed, from that one plant. You have never been able to experience a plant identical to one another. They all grow within their own way. They all grow within their own times. They all receive certain levels of nutrition. They are unique just as you are. As too is knowledge. Knowledge cannot be defined generically. And this is the trap that many of yourselves put yourselves in, is feeling that as soon as you have knowledge in your hand, well, this must be the be-all, end-all, as it relates to that knowingness, to the words on the paper, to the picture on the canvas, to the spoken word of the guru, of the master, of the teacher. This must be how it is. No, it is not. It is something that serves at the time that it was made. And it will continue to evolve. And it will continue to grow. And it will continue to expand just as you do. Do you think that if there really was only one generic message, that we would spend all of these many days of your time coming forward through Brad and sharing all of this information in just one particular way? You would have only one video on his particular channel. But that's not how it works. Therefore, even when we have stated something in the past, we come back again and we add more to it. We give you a differentiation of perspective because that is the growth. That is the nature of how this knowledge expands. So again, many of you have been bred to believe that what must be in a book, what must be written in stone, what must be spoken word, must be how it is. No, because the universe is not so predictable. The universe is not so finite, relating to conditions and matters, relating to hearsay and dogma and doctrinal understandings. When you look at knowledge, it is a person walking together with you. It is the student and the master. And the master will show you a tree, and they will tell you, how did this tree come to be? And therefore, looking at your conditional knowledge and saying, well, there must have been an acorn that came down and it was planted in the earth, and therefore, over time, the tree started to be. And that is how it came to be. The master looks at you silently, places his hand upon your shoulder, and just pats you and walks away. Well, master, am I right? Am I wrong? The master continues to walk and says, come and follow me. Therefore, there is no definitive answer to the question that he asked you, relating how did this tree come to be? Oh, well, it must have been from an acorn, came into the earth, it grew, and therefore, behold, comes the tree. He did not shake his head. He did not nod his head. He simply patted you on the shoulder and walked and told you to continue to follow him. Behold knowledge. But Adronis, that's rhetorical. There was no answer in regards to a confirmation. From what he asked and what I shared, there was no definite answer. You understand? Because knowledge is not here to give you answers. Knowledge is here to helping you evolve. It is here to help you grow. It is here to help you expand. Therefore, as you look into the living knowledge, the Akashic records, the living library, the book of life, those pages, that library shelf is always in fluctuation, meaning that the pages upon the book can become larger, wider. The shelf can now become longer, wider, deeper. Every single moment. Therefore, when you're looking at the idea of knowledge, many of you ask us and others, well, Adronis, when is the fourth density Earth coming? When is this great change that is going to take place? And you have noticed that we have never given you an exact date. Because here's the thing. We don't have that answer. Just like we are patting you on the shoulder and walking elsewhere. And you may want to continue to demand that. Well, what's the answer? When are we moving from one density to another density? Here's the thing. The knowledge cannot answer that. Because again, every day that you live, that you breathe, a new version of you is born. And as a new version of you is born, so too is the earth that surrounds you. It was your own Jesus Christ that stated, there will be two people in a field, two men. One of them will be taken, one of them will not. For if you knew exactly when the time for harvest came, you would not be at a point of easement. You would always be ready. You would be expecting it. But that is the idea of the collective divide. That is the idea of moving yourselves into these partitions of being. That you therefore see the extremities, the polarities, the opinion religions, the faiths of every man, woman, and child. And again, many of you may ask, well, are they right and we are wrong? Or we are right and they are wrong? Again, like the knowledge, we place our hand upon your shoulder and pat it and walk and say, follow me. Because there is no living being that has the idea of the exact answer for you, because knowledge does not hold answers. You hold your own answers. You hold your own clarity. And when you are again flowing with this evolving, expanding energy that we term as knowledge, you must understand that again it changes with you. You must understand that knowledge itself is indeed a companion. It will not be here to give you answers. You shall give yourself answers. It is only here to give you a perspective, to give you many perspectives. But those perspectives are not the gospel. When you see, when you experience these times of change, they are telling you that light itself has come upon your planet, and that you are noticing a great shift, and that things are rearranging themselves as the light hits the surface. And as it goes deeper and deeper and deeper into the earth, more becomes exposed. And many of you may shout to the top of your lungs, it's the end times. It's Armageddon. It's an apocalypse. Does the man of knowledge come up to you and nod or shake their head? No. Once again, the hand on the shoulder, the pat, come and follow me. For that is the way of knowledge. That is how knowledge itself exists. That's how it's alive. It is only that which you know as the one divine creator. as Spirit, as God, as Mother, Father, that knows exactly when you are moving from one density to another. It is not through any of the higher dimensional beings. It is not about thinking that you must have an exact date relating to upliftment. Because in order for you to actually look that there is indeed a certain date, that there is indeed a certain time, and that this will all be coming onto our earth, and we will see it as we look out the window. No, you won't. Because your aspect of evolution, your spiritual understandings, your growth is not an outward thing. If it were an outward thing, all of you would shift to fourth density. Some of you are, some of you aren't. Now, why do you suppose that is? Because it's an inward journey. Ascension, advancement, harvest is inwards, not outwards. This has never been an outward journey. This has always been the development within, the exploration within, the growth within. That is how you advance. That is how you ascend. That is how you reap yourselves with harvest, is through the inner journey. The world around you is not going to change by itself. You are going to see your world change by going deeper into yourself. For that is what it means to be a Christ consciousness, to be a Buddha nature, to be a Krishna spirit, and all other forms of labels. As we stated, knowledge is a living thing, a living entity, a living being, just as you are. Remember, you receive knowledge in the greatest depths by allowing it to come from within, spoken by yourself, and therefore allowing it to grow more and more and more as you evolve with your times. This is the greatest understanding of working together in companion life between yourself as an entity and knowledge as an entity, walking hand in hand. Not for yeses or nos, but for that pat on the shoulder and say, continue to follow me, for there is much to experience, and this is all happening inside you right now. We thank you for the opportunity of this interaction. We will now conclude and return to the conduit. Goodbye for now. Thank you very much, everybody, and I will speak to you again in another perspective of the now. Take care.